Good day to Dr. Ali and also Madam Fatin. We are from Group 15. My name is Marana Chong, and this is my group members, which is Zarifa Sahara, Nur Aina Sabrina, Alia Natasha, and Yashwini Anak Perempuan Daud. So we will be introducing our article review, which is our topic, of course, is linguistic relativity, which is emotional. All right. So our title of the article is the association between emotional intelligence and second language speaking anxiety among Malaysian undergraduate ESL students with mediation roles. So this is the year of publication of 2020, and the journal is 3L Journal Language, Linguistic, and Literature. So before that, I would like to pass on to Alia Natasha for the introduction. Alia?
Thank you, Marana. So hi and a very good day to Dr. Ali. My name is Alia Natasha Zulkifli, and today I will be presenting about the introduction. So in the introduction, it contains the theme of the study, background of the study, problem statement of the study, and lastly, the objective of the study. So let me start with the theme of the study first. So the theme of the study is about mastering language skills disposed to get worsened by the second language anxiety. Moving on to the background of the study, it is the association between Daniel Goldman's emotional intelligence and anxiety in second language speaking through the employment of mediation variables and oral communication skills. Into the bargain, it also to determine the role of oral communication as a mediator between emotional intelligence and second language speaking anxiety in understanding the relationships between Malaysian students' emotional intelligence level and their oral communication skills, as well as to determine the relationship between Malaysian students' oral communication and their second language speaking anxiety. Right, moving on to the problem of the study. In Malaysia, the language anxiety is believed to cause inadequate academic grades in English as a second language learning. To boot, speaking skills is the ascendant source of language anxiety out of the other three skills, which are reading, writing, and listening. Due to the second language speaking anxiety, which promotes academic failures in English second language learnings, hence the undergraduate English second language student who has limited English communication skills are the key educational concerns in Malaysia's future employment. Last but not least, moving on to the objective of the study. Okay, next slide, please. All right. The first objective is to aim to find out if there is an effect in mastering the language skills due to the proneness of language anxiety. The second objective is to seek to examine the relationship between oral communication skills and second language speaking anxiety undergraduate learning students in different colleges. Last but not least, this study aims to clarify between emotional intelligence level and second language speaking anxiety among Malaysian students through the mediation of oral communication abilities. That's it from me. Sharifa Zahara will continue the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Alia. A very good day to Dr. Ali. My name is Sharifa Zahara and I will be presenting on the literature review in our chosen article. Among many of the researchers' reviews, there are two significant questions which provides the role that needs to be prioritized. The first question, what connection do emotional intelligence and oral communication skills have within the variety of academic fields, such as business, science, and English, and also involved within the professional settings, such as events or meetings? This question corresponds with the belief of the association between independent variables with the mediation variables in developing a positive improvement towards the students' communicative skills in English among each others. In the next question, what is the connection between oral communication skills and second language speaking anxiety in connected to the construction of foreign language classroom anxiety with gender. A few researchers in the article theorize that the lacking of communication skills were given due to incompetence in speaking English. In addition, it includes the acknowledgement of varying genders with the influence of communication skills failures. In this portion of the research, the hypothesis that can be discovered is that there are association among the two variables with the mediator's role, which is oral communication skills among Malaysian English as a second language learners. To conclude, and independent variables, which is emotional intelligence, are influenced by dependent variables, which is the second language speaking anxiety, when there is a role needed to be involved within the connection which may or may not provoke the different outcomes among the Malaysian English as a second language students. That is all from my part in the literature review, and I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharifa Zahara. Before I start, my name is Noraina Sabrina, and I'll be explaining on the methodology of the research. In the methodology, the study was conducted using a quantitative research design because of the study's nature and objectives. In addition, a correlational research design was used in compliance with the research aims. On the sampling part of the research, one public institution in Malaysia selected a total of 209 first and second year Malaysian undergraduate ESL students. To begin, the current study looked into the link between emotional intelligence and second language speaking anxiety via the mediation of oral communication abilities. Using statistical data, correlational research aims to identify the extent of a relationship between two or more variables. Relationship between emotionally intelligence and second language speaking anxiety are investigated using oral communication abilities as the mediating variable in these types of study. The participants in this study were actually basically female and male Malaysian undergraduate ESL students studying at University Utara Malaysia, a public university UUM. The optimal sample size for a population of more than 10,000 people is 209. There are basically three self-administered questionnaires were utilized to evaluate the association between emotional intelligence, oral communication abilities, and second language speaking anxiety. It has actually 40 elements that address emotional intelligence, which is the 5 dimensions: self-awareness, self-regulation, drive, empathy, and social skills are just a few examples. Move on to the findings. The first research goal revealed that emotional intelligence was connected with oral communication skill in a significant and beneficial way. The data from the article claimed that with a t-value of 20.15 and beta value of 0.797, the t-value measures the size of the difference relative to the variation in the sample data, while in statistical terms, beta represent the slope of the line through a regression of data points. Emotional intelligence has significant positive connection with oral communication skills. In other words, this finding revealed that the level of emotional intelligence had a favorable impact on the oral communication skills of Malaysia ESL students. By analyzing the association between emotional intelligence and oral communication skills, the first purpose of the current study has been achieved. Furthermore, oral communication skills were found to have a significant but negative relationship with second language speaking anxiety with the t-value 20.662 and beta value of 0.705. This implies that while their speaking anxiety in the second language was high, their oral communication abilities were poor and vice versa. By analyzing the association between oral communication abilities and the second language speaking anxiety, the study's second goal was entirely realized at this point. Thank you so much, and I will pass to my team member, which is Mariana. Thank you.
Thank you, Aina. So, hello, my name is Marana Chong, and I will be continue this presentation with critical discussion. All right, so what can I say in this study is that language is very crucial in our life. Within your future, within 10 years later, within 100 years later, because this is how we communicate. Even right now, I'm talking with language, and I am using second language as how I use this language to present in this presentation. So this is how it is crucial in this language, and how this team of researchers has picked up this study and looked into this well, because they want to see how language anxiety could affect one's second language user, right? So as I can see from here, that we can see this is the emotional intelligence is associated or connected with oral communication skills. This is one of the first objective, and they have achieved, because it is very connected, because emotional intelligence and oral communication skills is how you cannot separate. Because when you talk, when you use language, you express yourself. When you express yourself, you need emotions, correct? So when I say we use emotions and so on, we tend to say that emotions control what we say, and it structure our sentence, what we should say in different settings of our emotions. So if I say I'm very angry right now, so I tend to say very uncomfortable things, uncomfortable words, very rude, or maybe I could curse. Yes. Okay, so maybe we can think in another way. Example, if I have fall flat, I'm very bright, I'm very positive right now, I'm very active in talking, I would say a lot of things. Okay, so I will be saying like, okay, so this is how I have achieved fall flats. Maybe I can give you a tips and so on. I would like to give my gratitude to my parents, my family, my friends, lecturers that have guided me throughout this semester. That is how emotion intelligence can connect and affect your oral communication skills. All right. So we can say here is that a structural model assessment and measurement model assessment by Hensler, Ringel, and Sinkovics they have been used this two measurement to assess the emotional intelligence and oral communication skills, how they could be connected. These two measurements can also be assessed throughout the emotional intelligence, oral communication skills, and second language speaking anxiety. All right, let me go through for the next one. So the next one is emotional intelligence affected Malaysian and English language as second language, oral communication skills. All right, so it is can connected with both. So what I can say is that emotional intelligence won't be used here. All right, let me stop that for a while. What can I say is that second language speaking anxiety and oral communication skills are also connected, but in a negative way within this study. Of course, they have achieved this objective, the second objective, they have achieved, but they have come up with the negative one. All right, they are connected within this audience with the Malaysian students using English as a second language. All right, because they could say this that when I use my language, so when my speaking, so when I use my second language, speaking anxiety is very high. All right, my oral communication skills is very low, because when I tend to be anxiety, I won't talk. All right, because I don't feel comfortable, I don't say a lot of things, because how I could say is that I don't even have those knowledge. Okay, I don't expose to those type of environment. Okay, if I say that I'm from Chinese, all right, and I don't expose to a lot of Chinese type of talking or conversations or any other environment or something, I won't tend to speak in Chinese because I don't have those knowledge. Okay, so when I try to speak in Chinese, okay, my second language speaking anxiety will rise. So when it's very high, my oral communication skills will be very low. Okay, so maybe I can say is that the less I say, the higher my anxiety will be. All right. Okay. So maybe we can include a Bandura's theory here is that the impact of environment. Okay, because when you are in a lot of place, when you are in a space where you have been exposed to one language, you tend to pick it up very fast, right? That is what we have seen in Bandura's theory, right? So as I say, the less they speak, the higher the anxiety I will get. Okay, so the third findings that in this discussion is that in this study is that determine of the role of mediated oral skills, connection between emotional intelligence and speaking language, second language speaking anxiety. There is connection between these three roles, okay? Because from here, yes, they have achieved the third objective also with these third findings, okay? Because from what we can see is that in the study, they have formed a theoretical frame is that independent variable is the emotional intelligence, and the dependent variables is second language speaking anxiety. Okay, so in the middle of it, okay, we can say is middle person, okay, mediated variables, which is the oral communications skills. All right, so how we can say is that we tend to speak, but as I said before, emotion intelligence affected us. So what I can say is that you express yourself. All right, so from here we say that emotional intelligence, before we go to anxiety of the language, we go to our emotions. So if we feel something very sad, or something that's actually whatever feelings that has overcome our emotions, it will straightly gradually go to oral or oral communication skills. All right, when it goes to our oral communication skills, the anxiety of the second language that I will get will determine of how anxiety I could be according to its settings. All right, so maybe I could say is here is that if my emotional intelligence is low, okay, which affected my oral communication skills, it leads straight to my language anxiety of the second language. All right, okay. Moving on to a reviewer critical's voice. All right, so first we can say is there here is that the strength and the weakness of these studies. From here we can say that this research has only been included only quantitative style, and it only makes it the generalized of the understanding of this language anxiety, which is also second language speaking anxiety. So what can I say is that we understand in these studies that have been conducted by these researchers, but maybe there will be more, okay, if there's a variety of researchers out there could conduct among similar or different teams with different gaps and perspective, because different people different perspective, am I right? So I can say is that maybe they could include different types of method, like combinations of method, quantitative and qualitative together among each other, combining, right? So maybe we can say this, that a lot of different methods, different combinations of both qualitative and quantitative among these studies, maybe we could have a deeper understanding of this language anxiety, or we could, or I should say, second language speaking anxiety. All right, and of course the solidity of this right? Which involves students Malaysian as audience target. What can I say here is that a lot of studies, of course, there's a lot of studies about language anxieties with different settings, right, such as academics, debating, and so on. There's a lot of it, but it's almost in outside of Malaysians. So what I can say is that the solidity of this research is that it uses students' involvement of in this study, because you know why I said this, because it could bring a lot of understanding of language anxiety, because one person cannot be confident in themselves because of this second language, it because they don't use, because they rarely use it of because of their mother tongue. It is not their mother tongue to use this second language. So one could be very afraid and anxiety when they try to use this second language, when they try to talk to people. All right. So because of this, we have more deeper understandings, and maybe we can apprehend these the weaknesses, and we can make awareness within these three types of society, which is teachers and educators, parents, and also student themselves. All right. Maybe maybe I should start with teachers and educators, because mostly teachers right now and teachers nowadays have put aside speaking language, speaking skills. All right, because they tend to say that I don't need to use it as in my practice, because we can use it in our everyday life. But if you use that in our everyday life, okay, it won't help if you use the traditional type of teaching. It won't help the students, and it could lead to, of course, even worse than language anxiety, which is language barrier, because students won't tend to know this language is very crucial in their future. And if they don't tend to know this, as it is very important in their life, there will be a language barrier between when they want to go to interview, when they want to go to outside of Malaysia, international, there will be a language barrier, because they don't know second language, English as the second language within them, because teachers and educator tend to not put it as their priority in the students' lesson plan. All right. So this could lead, of course, barrier, language barrier, very worst case here. And other than this, we can say about a society between the parents. So the parents here could motivate their children to speak more in English, but of course, don't stop talking of their mother tongue. Don't stop. Maybe you could open some TV's programs of they're speaking English and so on. TV shows and music shows and so on that could expose to them this type of language. Maybe other than that, you could bring them to a talk, virtual talk right now because of COVID, or maybe a physical talk. Maybe they could go to an event where you as a parents and your partner are talking in English or your second language. Okay, so expose to the children, and maybe you as a parent could talk to them, be their partner, and so on. Do not let them stop talking and become of its language anxiety. Okay. Other than that, we can say is that the student in themselves need to made aware of these situations, because if it doesn't start within them, who else? Am I right? So what can I say is that the students should take more critical steps and aware of these situations, because they should know language is very important in their life, and second language as English as a second language should not be their language anxiety. Okay, even though there's a bit of anxiety when they try to talk, at least let maybe they should try to make themselves even push themselves to talk more about this second language, so that this anxiety will slowly be fade away. Okay, maybe they can start teaching themselves, or maybe we can say that use the four skills, which is listening skills, reading, speaking, and writing skills by themselves, because this is how they should be training themselves. And also they should practice this more with motivation, so that could eliminate this speaking anxiety when in the future. And of course, right now they should start practicing. So that is all from me. I will pass on these presentations to Yashwini.
A very good day I bid to Dr. Ali. So, my name is Yashwini and I would be presenting on recommendation. First is common in academic failure in English as second language in Malaysia. This means language anxiety is very common in academic failure in Malaysia nowadays, especially in English as a second language. And also, among the four skills in the English language, speaking is known to trigger language anxiety in learning English as second language in Malaysia. There is a substantial association between emotional intelligence and oral communication skills in academic and professional settings in Malaysia's management improvisation. There is also a relationship between oral communication skills and second language anxiety, which is connected to the construct of gender with the foreign language classroom anxiety. That's all from us, Doctor, and thank you very much.